Today we are going to talk about finding the volume of pyramids. When we find the volume of pyramids, we use the formula volume equals 1/3 times the area of base times your height. I want to remind you that when we have a 1/3 like this, multiplying by 1/3, we could say either multiply by 1/3 or you can divide by 3. So going forward, as you do this in your calculator or mentally, you can do either one of those. You can either multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3. The choice is yours. Just like prisms, when we are finding the volume of a pyramid, we need to recognize what type of pyramid it is. And to do that, we look at the base, the shape of the base. Here, I've got a quadrilateral as my base. Therefore, this would be a rectangular pyramid. This is important to know because to find the area of the base, I might need to use different formulas. If it's a rectangle, I can use area equals length times width. If it's a triangle, I can use the formula area equals base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. So we do need to recognize right away what type of pyramid it is. In other instances, we will be given our area of our base and we won't need to find it. But if we do need to find it, we need to recognize what type of pyramid we're working with. So let's go ahead and give it a try. We've got our first pyramid here. We go ahead and write down our formula. Volume equals 1/3 times base, area of base, times height. Okay, so here I take a look and I see that I do have that rectangle figure down here, making this a rectangular pyramid. So I go ahead and plug into my formula. That 1/3 stays the same. Again, that can mean multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3, however you want to work that. And we multiply that by the area of our base. Well, since it's a rectangle, we multiply length times width here. And then we multiply that all by the height of my pyramid. Now, the height of my pyramid is always going to start at that point opposite of the base and go straight down to a 90-degree angle in the middle of your base. Okay, so then like I said on your calculator, you can either multiply all of this by 1/3 or divide by 3 at the end. So if I go 3 times 4 times 7, and divide that all by 3, I will get a total volume of 28 cubic feet. I can also write that abbreviated by saying 28 feet cubed. Either way works. So again, we go ahead and determine our formula. Our formula will stay the same for all pyramids. But then I need to decide what type of pyramid it is. Because it was a rectangular one, I go ahead and use the formula to find the area of a rectangle as my base. So that'd be my length times my width, and then the height of the entire pyramid. All right, let's go ahead and try another example here. This time, we have a triangular base. Ooh, let's use a different color here. This base makes a triangle shape. Therefore, it is a triangular pyramid. Again, I go ahead and plug into my formula, but this time I'll have to use a different base because it is a triangle. So I go ahead and just start off by writing 1/3. Then I multiply it by my base. Again, if I need to refer back to the front side, I can, but I know that the formula to find the area of a triangle is base, which is in this case 17.5, times my height of my triangle base, which is right here, that's 6, and all of that divided by 2. Again, my height starts at that point across from my base. So in this case, that would be 10. All right, so once again, I can plug this into my calculator. Sometimes it helps to go ahead and figure out this part first. So I can plug in my calculator, 17.5 times 6 divided by 2, which is going to get me 52.5, multiplied by 10. And then I multiply that all together. So in my instance, I would multiply 52.5 times 10, and then I can either multiply that by 1/3 or divide it all by 3. And then I get 175 cubic meters. Abbreviated, that could be written as 175 meters cubed. Both answers are correct, whether you write cubic meters or meters cubed. So this time we still use the same exact formula. The formula continues to work. However, because it's a triangle, I need to go ahead and note that I need to use a different area of a base formula here. So that's a triangular pyramid. We've got one more kind here. And down here, a little bit different. But again, you'll note that we're already given our base. Here we notice that we've got 6 sides of our base, making that a hexagon. But our formula stays the same. I go ahead and plug in volume equals 1/3. Now I already have my base. They've done the hard work for me. And I go ahead and write 48. And then once again, the vertex across from my base down to meet my base at a right angle gets me that 9. I multiply that all together, giving me a volume of 144 millimeters cubed. Again, sometimes we will be given the base, so we just need to go ahead and plug it in. But you do need to make sure to slow down and double check. That will only be the case on some. For example, here we were not given the base. We had to find that ourselves. So make sure you know what kind of pyramid you're working with, and then pay attention to the dimensions. Setting up your initial math problem is going to be key.